Hello, welcome to another Cynthium Live Hack. Well, late again tonight, but you know, as they say, better late than never, right? Alright, let me pause my audio. There we go. Right on it today. Didn't forget. So, today we are working on the Astro Boy project. Not this guy, but we're not hacking this guy. We're creating Astro Boy from scratch. So, we're doing some more 3D design today. We'll also be testing out some of our new parts. I did some tweaks on this guy just today actually, and 3D printed it, and it looks a lot better now. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing. Join me in the live chat if you have any questions, or if you want to make any suggestions, have any ideas, or just want to, chat. Help yourself. It's over on the right hand side of the hack live hack window here. So let's get going. I'm going to do what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. Let's load up Tinkercad here. So clean as this, beautiful, right? I'll transition over to this window here. So this is kind of where we started with Astro. Excuse me. So I wonder if I can actually. No, I can't really manipulate it. Oh, maybe I can. Wait for that to load for a second. Which is crazy on the Apple, but he would have to choose a game. Right? So I think it's faster actually to close this or just tinker it. We'll do that instead of previewing it. Excuse me. So this is what we started out with, was this figure of Astro Boy here. This was I think it was I believe it was a 3D scan with some, probably like a Connect or something, and then they made it into an STL. Well, actually they made it into a Maya file type, and then my friend James was able to convert that into STL for me. Now it was pretty ugly, but all I really needed was the dimensions of everything, and so got that using these basic shapes. And then we started building. We started at the feet, and then moved our way up to the shin. Worked on the upper leg, and also the hip area. So we'll go probably tinker the waist area, hip or waist area. I don't really have a good name for this area actually. If anyone has a good name for the pelvic region, if you will, let me know. I don't have a good one yet. So I realized that I should probably get this like way up in this region, like sink it way up as much as I can, so I can get the upper leg kind of close to here. So when we do the skinning of this this portion, we're going to want it to kind of line up pretty nicely, not to have that much space between them. So we're going to work on that. I'll have to separate some of these, ungroup them. So we'll lift those guys up. We can actually lift this all three pieces at the same time. Just hold shift and grab all those. We're gonna grab. Okay. Pull that up as much as we can. So I could increase the size of this section, bring it up a little more. But I think I might leave it. I might stretch it a bit over on this edge so it can be like overhanging this portion.
So if you go to memoryexpress.com, you can.
And I also have to make a cutout down here so that.
We're going to use HDMI, of course.
Actually, I may not have to. Come to think of it, if this is if this is high enough, it won't run into this edge here. So this looks a lot better already. But I wonder if I should mess with the dimensions of this. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna bring this down a tiny bit more. There we go. I will have to make a cutout. This cutout here go a lot higher than what it is. Probably like all the way through, probably.
And the reason for that is I don't think all of these buttons on the keyboard.
You know what? I should have actually brought this one up at the same time. And this one over here.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah, let's undo and do that.
Exit, like for example, F12 is a menu option in Vice. So we don't have those buttons on this keyboard. So because the keyboard is going to emulate a USB real keyboard device, we might have to assign the button on the side to do something different.
Okay. I think that's as far as we need to go. Let's grab all those and bring this up.
That's crazy. I didn't know that Amazon can order this kind of stuff. But we're going to take two of the female ones and we're going to put them on the side.
Just bring this. Yeah, right there. So you can see it just breaching the surface there. I think that's going to be good. You can see that this is actually rubbing against the inside of there. So we'll stretch this portion out a little bit on this side and a little bit on this side.
So there's some firmware on the joystick version. I've already written that code for the guitar.
I think I went a little much. I can probably trim that down a little.
So I can copy pretty much and paste.
Sorry about that. I should probably be talking into the microphone. It makes things a lot easier to hear.
I'm not going to write a lot of code.
Okay.
Someone's code that I found online. Somebody's Arduino code.
I think that's going to be good. It may rub up against here, actually, come to think of it.
It's a real simple code base. I'm super stoked. That was
Interesting. I also need to hollow out this whole region, actually, because our server won't fit if we don't do that.
It is a case. It comes with a power adapter because we need USB-C because USB-B doesn't provide.
So this is, I think this will be fine. This should be able to this kind of turn towards this direction a little bit, and then turn towards this direction a lot. Should be able to go like all the way, do the splits. Well, at least to like right here where it catches the corner. So that should work. I think I might drag it out a little further just to really make sure that we have enough room. Or actually, you know what I can do? I can just zoom through this.
We're gonna mount the case in here. We're not gonna use the bottom.
We're going in.
We're gonna reverse the screws.
We're going deeper underground. Oh, not underground, but we're going deeper into the model.
We're gonna do it right, and we're gonna have this mounted with a nice case and a stand on top of it. And
Let's see here.
Finally, once everything's in, we're gonna run a USB hub, like I do with all my hacks, so that we can plug in.
Oh, so close. So tricky to see that.
All the stuff over there. Let's start ripping this C64 apart. And I say ripping, but I really mean gently taking it apart.
Just laughing at DJ.
Because it is old. This is almost as old as me.
Yeah, true.
So if you were taking it apart, I'm sure you have to be gentle as well.
Actually, that thing's probably older than I am, that C64.
Well, you know, I don't have a lot of C64 knowledge. PTP's app saying, I can't believe you're destroying the C64. I am not destroying the C64, PTP. I'm making it better. I'm giving it a new life. Now, I will tell you that the motherboard from here and my Fairchild that I hacked last week, those motherboards are going to Robin at 8-Bit Show Time, and we'll bring them to him on Christmas, and we'll give them to him, and they are going to go.
Okay, we're gonna ungroup this.
And might have some
hopefully that'll give us access to that. Yes, okay. Gives us access to this side. And we're going to increase that all the way up, breach the surface. Yes, alright. That's what we want on this side too. So.
Things are unplugged. Okay. And I have to solder these on and took these off. So,
it's going to be hard to get at that. Okay, there we go.
Open this thing up, it's not, as you can tell. I cleaned it earlier.
Okay.
I'm a retro console Terminator. I didn't say I'm a Terminator. I make them better. I'm like, what was the guy's name that was responsible for the all the
that didn't work.
Clones. Remember, he's like, I built a candle that burns twice as bright, burns half as long. You syrup very brightly. Remember the first Blade Runner? Made him better. I'm making him better. I'm like the doctor from RoboCop, who made RoboCop better.
Did he? Did he though?
Yeah, he made RoboCop better. Who wouldn't want to be turned into a robot if you give him a bunch of guns?
And still have a weird face. Oh, RoboCop.
RoboCop was amazing.
Such a classic.
Okay, so because I did take it apart already.
All right, so we can take these.
I had to do it. I cleaned inside.
Actually, I'm going to copy one of those.
The things you don't want to see me do. Right? You can go on YouTube and find people all over there. I hate that guy. Everyone, they're all taking these things apart.
Okay, I'm going
so
line those up.
These back on. So I think put them on. Good thing I saw that, right?
There we go.
I think it's the caps lock key. And I cleaned up all the connectors.
Take one.
And
put it back this way a little more. So we want to get rid of this area. See how this goes. We don't want to go all the way through with it, so we're going to have to trim down its height. And this is going to be tricky to figure out. I think we're going to try to get it as like lined up with the inside edges of this guy, and then cut away.
Okay. So let's start taking screws out of here. Seems like there's some in. I don't know if I need to get in there.
Oh man, this is tricky stuff. Okay, we gotta.
Is Retro Pi supported on Air 4? If it's not, then we can install the actual ISO image. I wasn't sure if it was. I downloaded it, but you can always install it afterwards. Okay. As a package from EPT Get.
No, that's too much. So we need to bring this thing down.
Will it boot on the Pi 4?
There we go. Bring that down a little.
And it'll probably EPT Get as well.
So that's good. Good there. Actually, we want to go to the edges. Yeah, they're to there. Excuse me. Oh, that peppermint is getting to my nose, clearing my sinuses.
Oh, interesting. I have a piece of broken plastic here.
Okay, so I don't know how much plastic that's going to clear out. Something interesting. We will have to bring it all the way to here. Okay, so let's just test this out. Group those. See how much plastic we took away. Oh, not as much as I thought.
You want to use the word motherboard, but realistically, there were no other boards. I got to change the song. You guys can't hear it, but it's some whiny love song.
Nice. Okay, so let's undo that.
Okay, so it's funny that they call these. Okay.
So we're gonna have to go a little higher.
Is radically stretched, not supporting our bid for, like you said, yeah. But yeah, so we'll try it. I mean, I got the image, burn it, shoot it, see what it says.
Okay, well, let's try that. So this is like a little bit of blind trial and error here. what I could do.
There is no really other board. There's no video card. There's no.
Yeah, let's undo that. What I'm gonna do. This is set up to 1mm snap grid. So what I can do is just take this part just right out of here. We just count how many pieces or how many steps we go over. So let's go over like 20 maybe or 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, cool.
This board is going to a good home. It's going to Robin, and take that show tile. I hope they'll put this into a transplant and do a broken piece of board. I'll put it in my pile.
Okay, so let's adjust this a little bit.
Whole motherboards from old retro consoles.
Sorry, I'm gonna just quickly bring this over here so I can see if there's any chatting going on. Okay, so we'll increase the size of this tiny bit.
So it doesn't really matter where we put that Arduino. But let's figure out what we're going to do with the Pi. So let's get the Pi so we got here first.
Ugh, it's gonna be tricky to see here. If I try to straighten this out.
I'm a little disappointed that they did switch to these micro HDMIs. I know they had to. They wanted to do 2 monitors because
Okay.
some people are insane and would use
There we go. Okay, so now we can.
Something that takes like 9 seconds to launch a web browser is probably not what I consider desktop computer, but that's all you
Okay, and then we have to go switch the snap grid to 1
because I put 2 monitor ports on,
and go 20 back in.
you only have one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
It's going to be flimsier and that's kind of bright. The RPI 4 is 35, 45, 55 for 1 gigabyte.
Well, I hope that's right. It doesn't look lined up with this very well. How can we make sure that it's in the right place? You know what? I'm going to just trust that it's going to be in the right place.
I would have got the 4 gigabyte version since it's $20 more, but it didn't have it in stock.
Maybe I should have lined it up with the middle of this one.
Because these HDMI ports are so flimsy, I really wanted to mount it inside somewhere like this, right? So it's out of the way.
Just looking at it here.
Run this HDMI adapter cable.
I just really wish I had like a ruler or dimension tool in Tinkercad. And fortunately it does not exist.
Extension cable, so you be able to plug in.
Oh, let's copy this so we can use it for the other side.
I couldn't find the USB-C extension cable. I did find one on Amazon, right? But I didn't start looking for that. So
Oh, interesting. Let's see if we can. Okay, there we go.
If I want to mount this someplace in here like this, where I can run the cable and then just hook up a USB-C temporarily until I actually get the extension. That way, I don't have to have this hooked up in the back, and then I have to run an extension cable, which is a little bit flimsy, and then plug in the cable into it. Right? I'll tell you why. I like to play my retro games. Sometimes I'll put them on my bed and sit on my bed and play them on my projector. I like playing these games. They're fun. I don't want to have to worry about this little thing
Okay,
breaking.
I think that's
And,
going to be good.
And then having another cable plugged into it. So
See if it's touching this box here.
I don't think many guys would use 2 4K monitors. What is it? Hope not. I mean, I loaded my Raspberry Pi 4 up the other day. Not this one.
Okay, so I'm gonna select all these boxes and the hip section and combine.
The Raspbian desktop is still 32-bit OS, right? And it's not taking advantage of the new instructions on the
Okay.
Pi 4. So it's pretty slow. So I've seen people recompile some stuff for 64. I think they were running Ubuntu or something. and they put it on the Raspberry Pi 4, and it was like ridiculously fast, obviously, but that's because we just had a tool different instruction set on this too.
Well, I think I need to put that one back a little further, like this one.
Inside the case a little bit further, like this. And then,
I think we have enough room there. Yep, plenty of room there to put the servo together.
no, I think I'm gonna be okay with this.
Okay, so let's undo that.
A weird adapter that I'm gonna need. I'm gonna do it like this.
Are these?
Then
Are these guys lined up, I wonder?
put that
Let's
USB
do a little
over here,
test here.
GB weld, and like the GB weld plastic.
Looks like they're
Something like this.
okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that before, but these two are like really
We have
combined.
over here,
So we're gonna go back a little further.
not really
So
have-
this one is overlapped
I did it like
by like a couple millimeters, it looks like.
that. No, it's not.
Let's have a look here.
I don't have a lot of room when this is on. Right? Like, so much from the top of
Overlap
this
by
and
about
here.
one.
When I get back into this area,
I think that'll be.
but once you
I
get
think
into
that'll
the
probably be good.
the Raspberry Pi,
Okay, let's try combining those again.
up until up to here. So we won't
Definitely
be
a
able
tight
to
section here.
Get too much higher than where we are right now.
It's looking
We're
good.
about height. So with our fan and everything we want,
And that is.
probably gonna have to do it this way. I'm gonna have to suck it up, buttercup. Throw it right
It's
here.
looking okay.
It's okay. Okay, so let's put together.
But I think it needs to go a little higher because you can see red. Yeah. Try to get the angle right on this. Hopefully I'm not giving anybody vertigo here. It needs to go a little higher to get rid of that red. Unless these two aren't lined up perfectly.
Man, I'm excited to play some C64 games.
Okay, let's undo what we did so we can. So what I can do is select this one over here. Select this one over here. And then we align them based on this guy. Oh, I selected the wrong one. Let's try this again. Shift there. Select there. Align.
Now put this case
Uh,
together.
Since they're gray, it looks like they are
Do not
aligned.
put the heat sinks on.
So
Give it a minute.
it may be because of
And
this
then
guy.
put this in, and then put heat sinks on. You're gonna see why in a second. There's some small holes you have to access, and it's not easy. It's not easy to get access to them. So you wanna make sure these are lined up. So
Oh, there we go. You see that one came down a little bit.
pi
So we will have to adjust
doesn't show
this guy and
verticals, you have to
this
go to
guy.
heat sinks. Now, the SD card holder in the bottom. So there's two.
Let's see here if we can get inside and see what's going on.
Like this.
I think it's going to be difficult to see.
Yeah, see what I mean? So the heat sinks have to go in between here. So if you don't line them up correctly,
Yeah, I definitely went down a little bit further than I should. Because you can see there's a space down there. So let's change this to 0.1. Take this guy and this guy, and then we're going to go up about 0.4. Let's just go up 0.6. I think that'll do it. Oh, we can go up a little bit higher, about 0.2 more.
I think I could do it by watching myself.
Okay, let's have a look here. I think that'll be good.
Oh, I would have totally screwed that one
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Cool. Okay, so everything's lined up properly. Now we can combine these guys. Weird. Okay, combine. Okay, those are good. Perfect. You can see the surface of that. Surface of that. Cool, cool, cool. Right on. I forgot that we will have to make some holes here, 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 and here as well, so that we can put this together properly. Okay, so now that those cutouts are made, now we can combine these two pieces with the waist section. There we go.
Sticker.
Kind of wish that stayed red, but oh well.
The direction of the hair always blows in the sticker upwards. So if you wanted to blow hair into the Raspberry Pi, right?
So this section I still have to work on, make sure that all functions properly. I may have to make some slits into this, cuts, so that this portion can slide through it. This is nice and free and ready to go on this side.
These wires have to hook onto the IO here.
So yeah, what we have left to do is 4 holes on this side and 4 holes on that side. Shouldn't be too bad. I think we have enough room for everything to move. Yeah, I think it's going to be golden. Golden. Okay, so I'm going to take these two. We're going to copy those. We're going to cut them actually. Let's go to upper leg. Tinker this. Sorry, Tinkercad's taking a little while. Okay, we'll move this to the side. Paste those guys. Okay. This gives us our positioning and everything, so we'll keep that there. I will need to print out these guys, I forgot about that. Okay, but we're going to go back to the waist for a quick second here. Just to make our 4 little holes. And I measured it out, those holes out with the screw head. It's about 3.3. That was getting a bit tight, so I'm going to go like 3.5 probably to make those holes. I'll probably line them up from this side, and then we'll see how it goes. Trying to line up those other two could be tricky business, but we'll do our best. Oh, interesting. I never really looked at that, but we may have an issue right here. I may have to cut that away on both sides. Otherwise the servo will be blocked right there. Yeah, the servo is as wide as this is. So yeah, if those two sections are have a solid piece there. That's going to interfere with our servo fitting. So maybe we'll just have to just break this apart a little bit. And then
And I have a Raspberry Pi schematic here.
and make these a little wider.
So all the pinouts are all the same on all the Pis.
So this side was good here, which is pretty decent. And then, oh, no, we don't want to select you, we want to select you. Pikachu, there we go. So since we're combining with not this piece, but just with the red, I think this actually works out well. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Undo. I want to stretch this out a little more this way.
I don't know if I'm enough of a resistor up here, right? Maybe we will. Jeremy might make me. So we have 2 + 5 if we need to. So it's
okay. So looks wide enough on both sides there. We'll have to increase it on both sides on this one. You know what? So let's go to 0.1 scale.
1, 2, 3, ground. And power.
There. Okay, that's good.
Let's push this thing back together with all the screws.
I'll zoom into here a little, if I can.
It's a neat looking case.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Boy, what a clean luck with this together.
Okay, so let's combine and see how that goes.
What is your problem? Go together, case. Oh.
Let our shapes combine.
Upside down. Okay. So that means
Okay, I think that's
plus part again.
good there.
And
I can see a little bit of a lip there and there. I'm pretty sure I can squeeze. Oh man, I'd love to have a laser cutter for Christmas. Any other laser cutter fans out there? Jump in the chat.
Jeremy's always looking for someone that likes laser cutters.
Well, I found one. My wife likes laser cutters, so I guess I married the right person, eh?
Yeah. Alright. So this is nice. How clean that looks. Cool. We got a fan, which is not touching anything inside. Great.
Let's try to move this slightly.
Legs looking at
There we go.
showing so much leg.
And then we'll increase this a little tiny bit. Oh, not that bitch.
Okay. So we need some space.
It's hard to move my mouse just that slight tiny bit. Oh, there, too much. There.
The bottom of the chassis of
I think that's good. Let's check this side.
This should go together. It looks like this clear one needs to be there because it's
Just a tiny bit on this side too.
the Raspberry Pi, so it actually
There.
the Pi fits.
Okay, so let's select
Pi fits
these
inside
boxes.
of this.
That one's selected.
See.
Combine. See how this looks.
It goes this way.
Okay. Looks like
This way.
no edges on there. No edges on there. Beauty.
No.
Yeah, I think we're looking good.
That way.
Perfect.
This way. See this little opening for the SD card?
Okay, great. So we can combine everything now.
Okay. And then we have
I hate that it turns that weird tannish color, but oh well. Wait, it turned red this time. Beauty. Can't believe it. That's awesome.
Let's see if this gives us enough screw hole. Okay. I think that's enough screw to fit through the case if we were drill hole.
You know what? I think this
Yes.
is off.
You don't use the bottom one.
I need to,
If you put the bottom one on, we're not going to have enough
yeah,
screws. So,
I'm gonna have to ungroup a couple times. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna have to move this guy over a couple 0.1s of a millimeter.
so remember what we talked about earlier where I'm
Okay.
putting everything. So it's going to go something like,
What we should really do is just
so we'll just take
center
the
this
bottom one
on this.
and
Ugh. Okay.
all we have to do is mark it with a marker where we
Just
want
like
it to
this.
be.
No, not you.
So take
This box.
screw out,
Okay. Align them
move stuff around
based
here.
on this box. Center.
Just find out where we want to put,
No,
where we want to position this.
that was wrong. Okay.
I'm going to position it right there. So you guys
Ugh. Okay.
see everything's kind of
Align
neat, somewhat centered.
on this box. No! Oh, we gotta get this at the right angle, I guess.
You need a little bit of distance from,
Maybe if I click the corner.
because the way
Yeah.
this goes on, got clips, and these clips will clip in.
There we go.
So we don't want
That worked better.
this to be too far over, that's going to block that clip. So we want it to be a little
Align based on this box here.
this way.
Center.
Okay? Those are my thoughts.
Okay.
And there's this here, so we want to cut this down right now. Some nice cutters. Just because
Combine.
it's in a way for us to slide around.
Okay, let's look from above here.
It's brittle.
Okay, that's enough over on that side.
There
It's enough over on that side. Perfect.
we go. Okay. So
Alright.
like that. Go ahead
Control A
grab a marker,
and combine again.
and we'll put some,
Beauty.
mark some holes where we need to drill.
Okay, well, unfortunately it's gonna look like Astro Boy has a bunch of holes in his butt, but this is just his skeleton, so that's not a big deal. So let's work on making those holes. Take a cylinder. I like to put all the sides up to maximum so it's a little, looks more circular. Turn this 90 degrees. If you go on the inside track, it goes by 15-degree increments. The outside track goes by about 1. Like I said before, we're going to make this 3.5.
Something like that.
So make the height 3.5.
Just looking at the top of this other case, making sure that we're not putting anything else in the way. No, it looks like this is going to fit just fine.
Okay, and so we do have to make this fairly long. Oh, sorry, grabbed the wrong edge. Well, what I'll do is just go like this, 40. Bring that up, bring that closer to here. And what we're going to do is try to line it up from the inside.
I think I have them. Usually do. They're not there.
Black will do.
Yeah, please. Stuff and
Doing, listening to your hack and doing my hack at the same time.
You'll mark the outside edge of where this thing is going to go.
See if we can see inside here. Ugh, this is going to be tricky. Okay.
So we're going to take the top off.
Yes, okay, good.
Certain things can move around.
We're going to have to
There we go.
shift
Now
this
I
over.
Position this.
Can I go one more out? There we go.
And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to
Oh, sweet. I can actually
in the middle,
take the arrow, go down.
hold it, and just put a
So yeah, we're just going to center it on.
into these holes.
Oops. Actually,
Oh, it didn't stick out down far enough to put it in.
so
Alright, let's try that again.
I'll have to go down a bit. Oops.
And
But we want to back this off until it just... Actually...
Sir, do you have a fine tip, Sharpie?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one will fit in there better. Alright, here we go. That's one more time. Third time the charm.
Okay, so what I'm going to
Yes,
do...
that one looks like a sealable.
I'm going to have to drop that down a tiny, tiny bit. 0.3.
Okay, there's our hole we have to drill. So let's do that.
Okay, good. That is lined up beautifully. So now we're just going to have to back it off. So. There. Okay, so we can copy and paste that. Doesn't have to be that whole long, I guess. And then we'll just move it along over on this other side. And then once we have that, we can copy and paste it. Actually, a couple times, because we can do the upper portion. So let's... The height is adjusted properly. Now we just need to get the positioning. Let's... Okay, up. Okay. There we go. So that's good, and then we can just pull this back. There we go. Let's copy those.
Beer and power tools, they go hand in hand.
You were telling me the other day there should never be a teacher, but I don't know.
I'm not teaching, I'm telling people, I'm showing people how to live right.
How to live.
Drink beer while using power tools.
Nice.
That pretty much defines my summer right there.
Beer and power tools.
Cabin. Beer and lots of power tools. Chainsaws. Oh yeah, look at that. That's great.
Going in.
Anybody cringing while I drill holes into a original Commodore 64 case? People are like, why didn't you just glue it? Shut up. Why don't you shut up?
Nice.
Mind your own business.
I think that's lined up perfectly, so I'll pull that back a bit.
Your own Commodore 64.
I'm just going to get my own Commodore 64 and go home. So what we'll do is we'll align it with these two.
Robin isn't watching.
Good.
Now these
You know what?
screws.
I think what we'll have to do is just shift it over until they line up perfectly.
If we push the screw
Okay. And then, oh yeah,
like this,
we gotta bring them up. All the way up.
looks nice, but I think we should put this black piece on the bottom, raise it up one little bit more.
I think it's gonna have to go up further. We're also gonna have to
This
push that in
way. Cool. The thing is,
whole bunch,
screws this way, it'll stick out.
and then look
Very
from
small,
this
not
edge.
very much at all.
So they need to go higher.
How about
You can see that much.
we might have to just put longer screws in there. But either way, the screws aren't going to go this way because then you have nuts on the bottom, right? Nobody wants
Okay.
nuts on the bottom. You want the nuts on the top. So you put
Alright, so I'm gonna have to pull that back until I can just see it.
like that. It sticks up nicely right there.
Oh man, this is so difficult. I can just see it. Yeah, there. Okay, boom. Perfect. That's where I want them. Okay, so we're gonna copy those, paste them, and then line them up over here, and it should be all good and good if we line it up
So now we just have
perfectly with those other ones.
screws in the bottom. That's it. That's all we end up with.
Which I don't know if I can do because
Don't have to make any cuts.
oh, my live hack is spinning. Okay, we're back. We're good. So I don't think I'll be able to use the align tool to line them up, but I can eyeball them.
Same with these other ones. So this is a nice map. Our SD card will go into here, but we can access that, which is nice.
Oh yeah, we're pretty close. See if I can zoom in here a little. I think I can go one more over. There we go. Yep. And then let's sink this down.
This is perfect.
There. Beauty. Okay, let's try this. We'll combine everything. Control A it.
Put it to the bottom.
When I say Control A it, I just mean I hit Control A and then and then combine. Okay, let's see. Look through this hole. Beauty. Beauty. What I didn't think about is that some of those holes are filled in. So I will need to make a smaller one that's this hole size. And I'll have to measure that out and then push it through. Line it up with this. So what I will do is ungroup so we can copy and paste those two.
Okay.
Actually, I'll copy and paste one of them. And then it'll be a little smaller. So it's going to be like,
Anybody who said,
guessing.
what are you doing? Talking about the C64, she's so innocent. Well, now she's better. Innocent and better. Okay.
alright, so line those guys up to this one.
I don't believe that I have any JB Weld here today. No, I don't. I use it on my Fairchild Channel F on YouTube. So
Okay, let me make a quick measurement of these holes, and then I'll be right
So
back.
today's hack's just going to hit this. Okay? But tomorrow I'll get some JB Weld quick. So this is the bottom of this case, and we don't need it anymore. I'll give it to Jeremy.
Got these
Jeremy!
calipers.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you.
He'll think of some use for it. We'll probably end up with Astro Boy.
Should I just snap it and throw in the garbage?
Okay, so now we have this.
Oh, what? 2 millimeters. I was really close.
So this is
It's
the
2.04,
and powers.
close enough to 2.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
do
So, wow.
is
So,
show you how we're gonna attach these.
pretty
And then we're gonna
close.
solder it off with the electric wires. Let's see here. So if I were to mount
So,
this
I'm going to make this
on
one a little
this,
longer.
this here, it's gonna stick out.
And then it's,
And that's not
oh,
what powers
I grabbed the wrong thing.
They have everything that's in flash,
I
right?
just want that, I want that little red. Yeah, that one. And we're going to push it on through to the other side.
Standoffs.
Okay.
And
Well, let's have a look if it worked.
these standoffs,
It did. Beauty. Okay. So,
these little ones
I'm going to
right
copy
there
that.
are going to be the same height as
Paste it. Bring it all the way over to here.
So all I have to do is put a nut
I think we should be able to just eye this manually.
and then
Make sure it's centered.
this is let's take it apart. spacers on either side.
Okay.
It's going to,
I believe that's centered.
now like that, we just drill a small little hole here, put a black screw in there.
And let's see if it goes through the right place. It does. Beauty.
Here,
Okay, so I'm gonna.
so, probably should get us a little bit of a cleaning.
Okay,
Here,
cool.
get me some booze. Got one booze bottle now. Spray booze bottle.
All right, we'll send these over to the other side.
Rubbing alcohol. If you're wondering why
I could change the snap grid, but I'm a little lazy. I don't want to do it several times, so we're just gonna sneak this over here. Then we'll eyeball it up, make sure it's all lined up in the middle of these two guys.
Looks like the stuff that's on is more scratches than anything else. I don't think they're gonna come off.
Oh, I forgot to mention to you guys that I started watching The Expanse. I was telling DJ that I haven't really fallen in love with the characters, but he told me that I never will, because it's not really a story about the main characters. If you haven't watched The Expanse, it's on Amazon Prime. It's seems like it's a pretty popular one in this community, so have a look and check it out. A lot of people recommend it. Anyway, yeah, it follows several different storylines, so it's not always like the same character, and it's just it's interesting. A space sci-fi movie, or not movie, series. And so I'm on season 1 right now, 2nd episode. I should say, I guess my wife and I are on that because we're watching it together. Weird. Just looking at this here, it doesn't look like it's, maybe it's just reflecting off the other side, but let's see if these, okay. It does seem like the holes have been made. Anyways, yes, my wife and I are watching it. We're on season 1 so far, and it's okay. I think I'll grow more to love it as we keep watching, but for the time being, because I'm a character guy, it is difficult for me to, turn a blind eye and not want to invest in the characters. So we'll see how it goes. We'll continue to watch it and see if it gets more exciting. Okay, I just wanted to check to see if this was on the bottom. It looks like it's actually poking through the bottom. Yeah, by a little bit. So we'll take this whole thing and see if we set it to 0. Well, maybe that's the way it is. Okay, so I think we are finished this portion for the time being. We will need a way to attach it actually to the upper portion. I never really thought about that.
I used one of those green scour pads and
interesting. So I will have to make something probably right here in the middle that attaches to the top section. Maybe I'll do some couple of, you know what I could do? I could do a servo there. I had talked about doing that. Putting a servo for the waist, and so the whole upper section can pivot. The one thing that I'm kind of have an issue with is that if I flip over to this other view here, give me a quick second here. I'll show you. So this is the Atomic Pi. I actually trimmed down the heatsink today because the heatsink was double the size. It was just massive. And so I thought, you know what, this thing never gets hot, so I'm going to trim down the heatsink size and see how that operates. And yeah, it's doing great. Right now I'm running EC Builder on it right now. And yeah, we can do several things with it, but right now I'm just going to leave it as is. But this is this is what's going to be inside of Astro's body portion. So this is actually pretty large. I'm going to have to measure. Actually, let's see here. Grab a non-conductive ruler here. See what this board size is. It's 10 centimeters. It's interesting that it's like exactly 10 centimeters by exactly 13 centimeters. Well, I thought this was designed in the USA, but well maybe they have metric dimensions for some reason. So let's go back to our design here, 3D design, and look at the dimensions. So it is about 100 wide. Perfect. That's what we need actually. So 10 centimeters is 100 millimeters. So if we make the body just maybe a tiny bit bigger than this waist, which is fine, we'll be able to fit the Pi in there, the Atomic Pi, quite easily. So that's good news. Excellent. But so we still have the dilemma of how we're going to attach those two sections together. You know what? I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll focus on this. We'll probably 3D print this probably, and you know, do some test fitting and stuff, and see how things work, and then we'll worry about attaching those two pieces later. I could just make it like posable, where it's kind of a tight like circular connection here, and so the upper body can just pivot on it. But it would be fun to do a servo that makes the whole body pivot.
Oh, drill bit broke, Jared.
Wow.
I wasn't even pushing hard.
No way.
Oh man, need that bit.
You might be able to use the leftover.
I'm gonna see if I can use the leftover, yeah. Huh.
Oh, that's crazy.
Quite a bit lately.
DJ broke a drill bit. That's
'Cause I'm too tough.
that is
I'm so strong.
ate his Wheaties this morning, I guess. I like the shadow. Looks kind of funny. Looks like a kind of a sad face. With the two eyes right here. Marvin the Martian style, or Marvin the robot style.
Perfect. One hole.
Okay, so let's go on to the upper leg, because we still have to work on that. What we'll need to do is create some slits so that our bracket can pivot through it. Right here. So I'll need to cut away a section like that. I don't think we'll have to do it that deep, but definitely need a bit of width. So we'll just do a box cutout there. Bring this up. Bring that closer to the design. So really we don't need this portion. I can get rid of that. We need you, Pikachu.
There we go. Done. There's number one.
Okay, so I'm going to have to bring that all the way up. And I also have to make sure that it's not touching this portion. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that this wasn't centered on this. Well, let's do that right now.
So, I don't really have to mark it at all. I just have to position it where I want it to be.
There we go. Sounds like one of my 3D prints is done, so that's cool. Well, you know what? We can go like deeper like that. It's fine. Go a little skinnier. Oops. I grabbed the wrong. There we go. That's the one I wanted.
Put that screw through here so that we don't.
So it looks that's pretty centered. Okay, so we're gonna grow this a little and then bring this down. We want it to be kind of lined up with the bottom of this guy. Actually, you know what we can do? We can align them.
Nice. Alright, so there's our holes.
There, align them with the bottom. Cool. So I will have to make a slit on the other side, just in case the leg bends the other way as well.
That drill bit break. Never crazy. It's all like wobbly too. Okay. Now we'll take this off.
So copy and paste that. We'll align them to this one.
Our standoff.
And then we'll, oh, didn't mean to do that. We want to select one of them and then bring that one up. There we go. Just make sure it's cutting all the plastic. Good, good, good. And what I forgot too is that we will need a bracket to go right here. You know what? I think we're going to try to make this come as close to this edge as possible. So let's select all these.
I might have found my... I did. I found my piece for the nuts.
I have to make sure that this has enough clearance on this side. Okay, that's too much, but we can change our snap grid.
Put some Loctite on here in case this.
There we go. And then,
Just gonna have lots of wear and tear from.
okay, so this should have enough room. It's not touching the orange at all, so yeah, perfect. I think that'll be good. So now we can get rid of this bracket. We don't need it anymore. Actually, I lied. We will need it. So I will need another several bracket that plugs into right here. And then we'll also need kind of like, well, I think we'll just take a whole bunch of elements from the previous leg section, copy and paste it into here and get it in the right place. I wonder if I do this, shift, select all these three, combine them, if it affects this at all. No, it does not. Beauty. I was hoping that would happen. What I didn't think about is this triangle edge here. And it looks like we didn't have much clearance on this edge here, so I think I will uncombine, ungroup, and shift these over a tiny bit. I'll select just these two. Okay, I think that'll be good. Combine again. Yeah, I think that looks much better, much more centered. And then, yes, we're going to have to take away a little bit of that there. So let's do a triangle. 90 degrees, perfect. And then we'll turn this 90 degrees as well. We will make it a hole. It doesn't have to be that wide, so trim that down.
I think it's going to be pretty quick hack tonight. The hardware side of the hack is going to be pretty quick because all we have to do is connect a few wires. And the holes have all been drilled, everything we need.
Okay, so bring that up. Doesn't have to be this big, so.
The code pretty soon. Start writing some code.
Trim that down a little bit.
Alright, so I have one of the black screws that we're going to move here. Demonstrate, and then I'll go grab the others.
Oh, what I can do is actually widen this up and also turn it so that it kind of matches. This angle. Okay, there we go. Fairly close.
There.
Let's extend this edge.
It's going to be perfect. Just like that. That's going to be great. Okay.
Oh, weird. I really messed up the shape of this triangle. There we go. Okay. Well, I think that'll work. I think that's enough. And we can copy that and paste it and put it over there. Copy it, paste it, we'll mirror it. Yep, there we go. Make the long trek over, because I don't want to switch the scales. Oh. I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Sorry, guys.
Cool.
There we go.
What we needed. What we were expecting.
Okay, so
This one.
that's looking good. I think that's enough. So, select both of those. Select this guy and combine.
Maybe later, this time, I might 3D print some sort of black surround.
Oh, look, there's a little sliver there left over. And on this side, it's good. But let's have a look. See if the clearance is good.
But this is not. This is going to have.
Something tells me that when this turns and comes down, this will need to be like we might need much more clearance here.
Let's see where we end up when we get.
Oh, actually, we can actually simulate that. I never really thought about it. Just use this and turn it. Oh yeah, it's not pivoting the way I thought it would. It's pivoting on the central portion of it, not this portion. But if we shifted it over like this, oh yeah, you can see that can really bind things up. It's actually going to be more centered like that. And it's going to definitely run into there and there. Ugh. Darn. I'm gonna have to chop this down quite a bit. Which is unfortunate, but we're gonna have to do it. Okay, let's continue to drop this down. Line this up, kind of the center. I'm kind of trying to line up these centers by eye.
This, well, they look okay too. You might have left it. And I don't have to get off my butt to go get another screw. That's what I
So, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut off quite a bit of that.
To be extra lazy.
You know what? Really, I don't really need this whole upper section of this piece. The piece I worked hard on. You know what? I'm gonna keep it though. I want to keep as much as I can. I'll just cut it like right along here with one of these boxes.
That is fantastic. That's exactly what we needed. Okay, next up.
So we'll undo a lot of these moves.
This is gonna go.
There we go. And then we will break this apart again.
That way.
We don't need these anymore.
It's nice to clean up my desk.
Okay. We will instead use a box.
As you can see, it has holes.
Make it
We're gonna have to
fairly skinny,
screw into this again.
kind of
So we can
long,
hold this
bring it a little
around the
higher,
bottom now,
and
right?
then bring this up. Oh, actually, I'll just use my mouse. This is a lot easier.
How far off it has to be. So let's just put our
Okay, we'll drop this down.
take a look.
So, yeah, I think we're gonna drop it
So that looks,
to about there. So move it forward so it's not
that's how we're gonna
cutting
look.
off anything else.
So we have to screw this thing in there.
We'll copy and paste it, put it on the other side as well.
And we have our HDMI and connectors in the back. It's coming along.
Yeah, I didn't realize that we're gonna have so much issues running into that, to the body of this piece, this upper leg,
You want to mount this
with this bracket. Like this portion was gonna run into things.
somewhere right around there.
So we're gonna cut away a whole bunch.
It didn't seem like this when this top piece was
Okay.
on, as if it pushed against it too hard.
Let's combine.
The last thing I do is mount that piece in there, right? And
Yeah, it does not look as good as it did before, but now it has the ability
I'm sure what I'm doing.
to move around freely.
Right here. And I'm watching this edge right here, see if it catches.
Alright, so now it's time to go to our other design and grab
But
the portion that fits into this hole here
it doesn't catch it enough.
and yeah, combine it with this piece. So let's go do that.
Don't worry.
We're going to go to Astro Shin and tinker.
So, right where it is now is perfect.
Okay, so we're going to have to break apart some of these elements here.
This to the bottom here. So I'm just going to put hole there.
Okay, break that apart once more. There we go.
And it'll go there. Now, mounting it this very second is unnecessary.
I think there's one more
Make sure everything
bit
fits,
that I wanted to
because then
grab in here.
just check and make sure that it's working right. Because if it is, then we'll go when we take it apart, we can solder all the wires to it.
Here, I'm going to try to copy and paste that and see what we got.
So let's take it apart. And let's solder the wires.
Okay,
to
perfect.
the connectors.
That's
And hook 'em to
still-
Arduino. Program our Arduino, make sure that
Okay.
it fits. And then we'll
So
drill
what
those
I
holes
actually want to do is
and
grab
connect everything up
these two as well.
to the joystick portion of the stuff. So let's
This
get
and
soldering.
this. Oh,
Get my soldering on, get it warmed up.
there we go. We want all four of those pieces. Control copy.
And
So see if I can just put those together and if that'll work.
Wires shows us when you steal.
What?
This is Jeremy's wire bin.
One of them.
One of Jeremy's wire bins. And it's nice if what we're going to do is...
Okay, so let's go to the upper leg.
You know, see here, part has these male feet. Right? So what we're gonna
Paste
do
our
is
new
follow these male feet.
elements.
Now what we need to do
So
is use female printers like this, and
okay, we just want to go to 90. Perfect.
from the joystick. Right?
So this will have to go.
Alright, seems like you're poking at it. So what I'll do,
Bring it back a little. Bring it in a little.
this one here,
I forgot. That's where.
cut this in. We'll use the wires on either side. And
That's snap grid point. We're at snap grid 1. So
alright.
let's see if I align this up. I
Solder.
won't use the alignment tool this time.
Okay, now let's
What we can do is actually
let's let the wheels
use,
together first.
if we can zoom in enough here.
Make its legs somewhat straight on the bottom here.
Ugh. Oh, I know. If we control A everything.
It's only if they're gonna be really thick
Ugh.
socket or something, but we'll try to do somewhat
Let's.
nice.
Okay, let's use.
Classy with this thing.
Let's just eyeball this thing. Okay.
Okay, so I just soldered each end so that they're stable. So now I can just fill in the blanks and do the middle.
So we want these.
Pardon me for all of the out of focus, but this camera just doesn't know what to focus on ever.
Oops. Undo. We just want that red box. Or this box here. Yeah. Pull that out. Beauty. Same thing on this edge. Okay. Man, it's tricky to. I think this has to go up a little higher. I'm trying to move my mouse. Okay. Okay, that's good. And then it has to go in. Like Flynn. About there.
Cool. Since we're on this roll of
Oh,
soldering
darn.
headers onto our Arduinos, let's do the other one as well. For the, this one will be for the joystick, and then we'll do one for
So we may have to make this a little thinner. Yeah.
joystick and keyboard on the same Arduino, so they have to be separate. But it would work. because
Actually, we could
USB devices can be,
move everything up a little bit.
I don't even know how many USB devices you can emulate in Arduino. And I think the most I've ever done is 3. 2 joysticks and a keyboard.
Yeah, we'll bring it down a little further. I think that's pretty decent. It can go down, I think, a tiny bit more. We should probably leave some clearance there, though. And then let's look at the position of everything up here. Yeah, this seems fine. We will have to check to see if this is fine though. So what I'm going to do actually is Control A, take everything, sync it down, and then I'll be able to view it a little better. Okay, should be able to dive right into this piece a little further now.
I must have had a weird childhood because whenever I smell solder, it reminds me of being a kid.
You know what, I can probably drop that a little further down.
Done. Okay, now we have our cables and we need to connect them to the pins.
Okay.
Back to those split parts. I don't know which ones they are, so let's use some Googling action and find out. Ready to Google? Googly, 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 googly.
Great googly moogly.
So Commodore 64 SD card, joystick.
So it looks like it has to be shifted down a little, and
So you can take analog too. So we can
over to the left a little as well. So
and we could really do paddles as well if we wanted to, right? So we don't need to. Okay. According to this, looking onto the connector from the outside.
so let's select all those 4 elements again.
Number 1 is the top left.
Let's
That on here.
okay, let's see how well we did here.
See,
So we have everything selected.
I do
So
see a label. See number 1. And how would you ever near those here, since my camera doesn't like
oh yeah.
focus on anything, let alone something like this.
So as long as we get it lined up left to right pretty decently,
Anyway,
let's see how much space we got here.
and number 1 is joystick up, down. So the ones we want to mark solder to is 1, 2,
Okay, I think that's good, and then we need to drop it down
4,
maybe a couple.
6, and 8. Alright, I don't think we need to give it +5. I don't think we're there for +5.
Maybe a little more.
Guess we'll find out soon.
Oh, too much.
Alright, but it's not
Go
like it's
down
not-
like 0.2 or
We'll put it
0.3.
together, we'll solder it together, and we'll see what we end up with. Gonna cut this.
There, okay. Let's have a look there. It's hard to see the top. I wonder if I can see it from the inside.
Taking you all of them at once.
If I zoom into there.
And, hopefully you get ahead of this.
No, it's very difficult to see. Camera doesn't want to let me to zoom in further than that, so. So it can get a little closer. Like there. And then let's zoom in. I think I can go down a little bit more. Maybe 0.1 or 0.2 more.
The computer, how many is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Man,
And then
let's just try 0.1. Oh, mouse is difficult to use at this scale.
Cool. So let's tin up the ends of these wires and get them ready for action.
Okay, well, I think that's good enough. I'm just gonna leave it there because it will only shift this up and down a little tiny bit. So let's move this red block over.
So I have a C64 right now.
Actually, what I can do is stretch it over.
Totally fine. It's original. It hasn't been hacked at all. It does have an HDMI output that I use as an adapter. That's it. Solder into the
Make
board.
sure
And I also have an SD card.
this is combining well. The walls.
The future was 8-bit. Pretty cool website. You have a chance to go there. And they sell some pretty neat things. Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. So,
Number 1.
so we can combine everything except for this guy up here. So Control A and then Shift on that guy and combine.
2, 3. Looking at the screen while I'm doing this. 3.
Cutouts for our holes. Beauty.
Pretty much all across the top row here. And then 5 paddle, no. And then 6 is this one here. This is the fire button.
Sorry guys, just need to sneeze there.
That's you there.
Thanks.
And then 6 and then 7, 8. And then 8 is
Alright.
ground.
Oh,
which is this
darn.
second last one
So there's a hole here that's not really supported that well.
here. This is
So
solder
maybe
these
I'll
batteries. And we'll do is we'll plug a joystick
do-
in over that, just to verify that.
Ungroup this.
You can actually see the wheel voltmeter.
Stand
Also,
you.
see the, joystick motions.
There's one other thing that I wanted. Oh yes.
Can't remember why from the mic keeps getting away during this, oh, this goes problems trying to film stuff. A lot of work.
I wanted to make these ones a little wider.
Go. And then we get
There.
the
So they can cut off that portion.
2 wires in the box. And just remember which one is ground. The one that's got the very last pin that we're dealing with here. Ground is
Okay,
number
let's try that. Control A, deselect this guy. Combine.
ground the last pin, last wire.
That's good, that's good. Okay, it's all good.
The 3D print is done, Jeremy.
Yay! You know what? I hadn't really thought about it, but it could be tricky to get this portion onto this portion here.
And
I might be able to force it down into this section and then hook it on.
I'll grab the voltmeter and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think I'll just leave it. I'll just try to 3D print it, and if we need to modify it after, I can just cut this right off.
Alright, so we're going to put this on.
Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's bring you up to 0.
This button, you get BBB time. Right?
Okay.
So what we want to do is we want to see that ground is indeed what is connecting from one of these pins to here. So we'll just grab a random one, which is up, and
Okay,
up for us on this
I like it.
mess of wires. Is the very first
So I'm gonna go grab some 3D prints that just finished up,
and the very last pin.
and
Yeah.
I might start 3D printing one of these guys here.
Two.
The upper leg and the waist.
And I will just
So I will be back in a few moments. Hold tight.
Okay. So maybe it doesn't use the ground. Maybe it does use it. That's fine. Crazy. Oh, no, not at all. Look, when I push up. So up is indeed, hear that? Yeah, it's a terrible joystick. Anyway, so it is the ground thing, so we're good with that. The next one is down, and that's the color orange. So we'll just go to orange. This, and we'll pull down. And down is working as well. Cool. So I was correct to assume that +5 is not being used for the switches inside of the joystick. I think that +5 will probably be used for something like modifier or something like that, right? So to make this work, we just have to connect these to the Arduino. And I know you're disappointed because you've been hearing me say next, which is I wrote the code to do this on my Atari emulator. So we're just going to copy the code from my Atari emulator and work. So here's our other set of wires. Let's just make sure these wires are going to be long enough. Shall we? Let's see. Are these wires going to be long enough? Yes. Our Arduino is just going to have to be, it's going to connect there. Arduino's going to hang out somewhere around here. So, no biggie. Should I do this again? Should I? I know you want me to. Okay, separate the info. Mouse. I deserve a beer for this. Okay, so we just have to copy the same wiring as this one. So now we only have 5 pins on here because this one is missing one. No biggie. You can just grab one off another cable and just use a pin on this one. So we'll tin these guys up. Go. This is joystick number 2 we're doing, like actual second player. Careful when you solder these plugs because they can melt the plastic real quick inside, and then you end up with a pipe, like a plug pipe connector, whatever you call it, inside. Okay. Goes up in there, crooked, and then you can't fix it. So you don't want to put too much heat on it for too long when you solder this. Gotta be quick, some heat on there and get it. All these live hack nights I've been doing, I'm getting really good at soldering like pins in my face. Camera above my head, microphone on my face. I don't miss it when I don't do live hack stuff, so I think I'm getting used to it. So we can do a couple things here right now. We know that the ground wire for both of these is going to be the same. So I can run a ground wire from here to here. Or on the Arduino, we have multiple grounds. So I'm crazy, I'm going to run a second ground wire to the Arduino. Because I just like the idea of having like this more stable ground rather than sharing the ground. Even though it's the same thing, it doesn't matter, whatever. That's where my brain is. you saying that I should take this purple wire right off and remove it? And then replace it with the other black wire I just took off, so that they both are, the grounds are actually black? What was your suggestion? Well, if you're suggesting it, then where did you put that black wire? Here it is. This one? Fine. That's what we'll do then. You make the grounds actually black, like they're meant to be, rather than purple. OCD people are just loving that, aren't you? Good night, Kate. I know I must suggest it. Look at the end of my solder iron. I could like clean my solder cleaner. Boom. Boo, yeah, as they say. So, here's our Arduino. And back to our desktop. Look, port 2. Of course, port 2 is going to be insane.
Alright, sorry about that. I'm finally back. I have 2 new 3D printed pieces.
Let's take a
This
look
is the bottom of the foot.
our code. So,
Now, one thing I did, unfortunately, is I didn't make these seats right here, here, and here. Didn't make those thick enough, so one of them just broke off accidentally. So sad. There's some supports still in here, so I'm gonna clean those out a little bit. But yeah, they're just not even close to thick enough, so they're just breaking off easily. I'll have to adjust that. Yeah, I just had another break off. It's too bad. So we'll go back into that design and adjust that. But this design is okay. This is the top of the foot. Actually, I have a couple of these now. So I did 2 of them today. So those are for both of the feet. Sorry, I should get my microphone up and ready to go. So we'll adjust the bottom of the foot design, and then we can start on the torso, which is exciting. The main portion of Astro Boy, and then all that'll be left is arms, fists. Not too sure if we'll make them posable fists or not. We'll see. Meaning that we might, might make them move. We'll see. Maybe probably like claws. Maybe like 3 fingers and like a thumb, maybe. And then probably like the 4 fingers, likely, because that's what Astro Boy has. So you look closely. There we go, 4 fingers and a thumb. Get some of this stuff off of me.
Okay, that's it. So I'm going to do this.
Just cleaning up some of these 3D prints. Probably do that later. But, it's so tempting to do it when it's right here in front of you. But yeah. Let's fix this design so it doesn't happen again. We need to make a couple little inserts to make those areas thickened up. So let's do that now. We will go to right foot bottom, and then after we adjust the right foot bottom, we'll copy and paste that and make it into the left foot, which is the reciprocal. So the area I'm talking about is right in here. So we're going to have to take some inserts and put them into this section here. Thicken that up a bit. We will have to make sure that we still make a little cutout here on each of these. so the top of the foot actually fits on nicely.
So don't worry, we're eventually going to get into some code.
So
But not right now, because
let's make a cylinder, increase the sides. I'm guessing it's going to be like 8
lots of ground.
millimeters diameter. Oops. We'll see here. Bring it up.
This is our joystick connector now. That's it. And once we make sure this
Oh,
actually
not
works,
exactly 8. Looks like it's going to be a little bit more.
I'll just put a bead of glue on either side of this, just so it
10
doesn't
maybe?
fall out. And that's it. Then you plug your joysticks in. So to check if this is actually going to work, all we can do is
Oops. Actually, we'll change the snap grid to 0.1 again.
plug in
Finer adjustments.
into USB.
So it looks like it's
Programming cables. It should be it.
maybe a little bit less. I'm guessing at like 9.7.
Plug this into my computer.
So I'll shift that over.
And plug this end into the Arduino.
Looks like it's a little bit smaller.
Flashing light now, so my computer is connected to it and loaded it as a console.
So let's do 9.5.
Should have anyway. Apologies for all the noise, my microphone's input. Come apart.
There we go. So we're also going to have to sink that in and create a hole in the center.
There. I didn't realize it wasn't actually hooked together. Okay. So you don't need this port.
So I'm not too sure how big that is, but we will find out. I'm
Did
guessing it's like 4.
well, maybe I need to restart the ID starts again. I think I should never use this adapter before, this USB adapter. Oh, this USB adapter is not used. It's stiff. Try something different.
That looks like it's a little smaller. Let's go 3.5. Yeah, I think that's fairly close. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So we will line it up with this guy.
Okay.
There we go.
USB-C.
I don't think we're going to need this guy that thick.
Wrong end. Can't use this one either. Hold on. I gotta find the right adapter here to see if I have
Well, we'll combine these.
it. Or, you know what we can do? Let's try plugging it into my USB hub and see if it works. Generally, this USB hub is way too full of stuff. It doesn't like when I plug in new things. It gets mad at me.
So we'll try to line that up.
Could be the USB cable that it came with. I've had these Arduino micros come with thumb ID or USB cable, so let's
Alright, there we go.
put another cable
It's
in
good.
here. See if this works. Kind of funny the level of debugging you have to do because little things.
No,
like
I
this.
just don't
Why
know
are these flashing on
how
here?
much I should give it.
So let's see.
Actually, you know what? I can find out easily by
What's going on?
taking a measurement on the head of the screw, and then we'll see how much clearance we need. So BRB.
Try putting together, you know, maybe it's unhappy with us. It's like a bad Arduino. Whoa, look, this one's lighting right up.
Alright, so we got the screw, our calipers.
Bad Arduino, guys.
It's about
Oh my.
2 millimeters in height.
Shorts here, right?
Yep.
No, it's not short.
So let's just make sure this is like at least 3 millimeters high.
Oh my.
Oh yeah,
Well,
it's
be bad at this board, because then we won't be able
it's
to
more than enough.
finish our project today. I don't have another one of these Arduinos.
So let's make sure it just touches there. You know what, we may not have to fool around with that. As long as this combines well with that, I think we'll be good. So yeah, let's copy and paste that. And then bring that guy all the way over. Okay. I think that looks good. Copy and paste that. Gonna change my scale because this is a long ways to go.
I don't know if this is a micro. It looks, oh it is. I have another micro. Oh, thank gosh. Let's try putting power to this micro and see if this one works. It does. Hey JR, I got a bum Arduino.
No way.
Yeah.
Is there a bad solder joint on it or anything?
I don't know if there's a bad solder joint on it. I can't really tell just by looking at it, but it doesn't seem like the USB is getting power, but the chip itself doesn't seem to be doing anything.
I wonder if there's a bad fuse on it or a bad solder joint on the fuse.
Well,
Well, it doesn't seem to be lining up great.
unless it's missing the bootloader on it too, but I can't burn the bootloader because I don't have any way to boot into it. It doesn't get detected as anything.
Oh, interesting. So these ones are up a little higher.
Alright. Because of that, we're gonna, and this because it doesn't work, and all it does is just doesn't do that.
So we'll grab that and
This is
we'll
what
bring it
should
up.
look like when it boots up. See? So
Okay, so it's not exactly centered either.
Solder feet onto this other Arduino. And then we'll have to return.
So I'll have to look at these to see if they're actually touching.
That's what you get for buying Arduinos. They manufacture so many of them, but they don't really have a quality control test at all.
So we'll do that. Bring those up, and then I guess we will have to cut off those corners a little bit.
They're going to learn how to program. They don't know enough about them yet because they just got one. And by the time they find out that it doesn't actually work at all.
Oh man, that would be frustrating.
I remember when I first started programming microcontrollers, the first time I did it, I was using microchip PIC. And I didn't know how they worked. And I burnt it out, trying to flash it. Because I didn't have a PIC programmer, I tried to make my own PIC program. I don't know what I was thinking. And it blew the chip. I didn't know I blew the chip, so I just kept programming it. And then I finally got myself a PIC programmer. And I couldn't figure out how to program the chip because it wasn't programming. It was because I blew it.
Oh, interesting. This one is, this element is up way higher than the rest.
PIC chip wasn't
Maybe
There was a company in town, so robotics, that Germans would have
If
to
I-
sell a PIC chip. Something like $14 each or something for the 16F, or 18F 677.
Oh, Okay, that's actually a good thing. We can.
Anyway.
Was the 18F, the 16F, 877F?
877.
Yeah.
And then the 18F 4685 is the one that the EZVV3
Yeah.
used. It was a really weird chip that I found that was awesome. Worked up at 40 megahertz, which was nice. And it kind of ran on it.
Here we go. We want to drop that down.
I had a program like this chip that was actually down. Okay. So this should work. I'm going to plug this in and see light up. Yes. Now we just have to take all the wires from here and put them over here. So let's grab a handful at a time.
Bring that up a little bit more. So it kind of looks like the other one. Maybe a tiny bit more. Yeah, I think that's good. You know what? Know what we can do? Oh, those ones are attached together. Shift that one. Shift that one. And what we can do is go align these and go align the tops.
So I don't use it, and we don't try to use it again.
Or align the bottoms.
Now, let's take a look at our code.
Okay.
And as you can see
yes,
here,
aligning the tops is what we wanted.
So we have two joysticks.
So we'll drop this down.
This is the object for the first USB place. We're doing all these values here. These are specifying whether or not, what the parameters are of the joystick. So let's take a look here. Look at the
one thing I didn't notice is those guys.
first parameter is your HID, ID. We want it to be different for both joysticks. The hat switches and what axes we have. Okay. If you look here, we have 0 hat switches, but we have 2 axes, X and Y.
I think we'll have to drop all those down.
There's no need for us to set all these because
all 4 of them.
The operating system care about a bunch of stuff that we don't offer. Like extra buttons, extra stuff.
Oops, not you, you.
6. I don't know why. Just felt like it. It's got the same type of parameters.
Okay, so we're going to drop all those down.
The joysticks were in. And then the reason why is because when we read the value, we only care about sending the updated position when the joystick is actually on. We don't, that's called removing bounce. We don't want to just keep sending the same thing over and over again. It just puts way too much stress onto the screen.
I think what we're going to have to do is undo that move.
So, and we delay 25 milliseconds and just keep.
Because we need to have.
So let's configure our port, COM14.
But we will take out the orange pieces.
And let's program. Now doing
so
is going to create a joystick driver the second it's done.
You know what, I'm going to try to select all the orange pieces and see if that works.
Uploading.
It's going to be a little tricky, but I think I should be able to do it. Yep. So we'll raise the orange pieces all out of there.
And you should see
okay, let's see if we got them all. Yes, we did. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to Control A, deselect 4 of those elements. And combine all those.
What you can do in here is load a joystick interface. There we go. And we should have 2 joysticks. There we go. I don't mind to jump in and
there we go.
it's like the first joystick.
So grab all those. We're gonna also make those all level. I'll line them all up to this one.
Let's move around. So up is down. Down
Go.
is up.
Oh, sorry, I should have kept on selecting those. Now we're gonna move them down.
There are two options. We can either swap the wires on your Arduino here, or we can swap them code. Right? So why don't we do code? That's even easier. So we'll just make up and 8 and down 7, and we'll make up 3 and down 2.
Okay, so that'll make sure that.
That's the easiest way to swap it.
Okay, I think these ones need to be shuffled over a hair.
Jump them back into our easy builder. Select the first joystick. Up, down, left, right. There we go. And then to verify
There we
the
go.
button, we go into the configuration of the joystick.
And then we can combine all those elements.
Line highlight, which is button.
And then we'll combine this element with this, and that will be it. It'll do the cutting for us. Okay, so Control A, deselect that guy, group all that.
Select the second joystick from our drop down, move it around, up and down, left and right is working, and then go into our here and push our button.
Okay, so that should be thick enough now
Cool.
that
So
it won't flake off.
and you don't even need this anymore. This is done.
And then we can combine these guys. We just align them up to here.
Super awesome, right? Cool. So we can unplug it. We can unplug the Arduino from here because we don't need it anymore.
Okay, it's already. And then combine. Control A, combine.
Next step is to
So that'll do the cutouts that we need
let's glue a
on those
screw
edges, and then
hole in here.
it'll be good to print.
See how it works. So we got this far.
Let's just have a look here,
Screw these
make
holes.
sure these are
Drill these holes and then put screws through.
much thicker than they were before.
So we did break the drill bit earlier, so we'll have to use a different size drill bit. And I'll go with one smaller than bigger. Because we can always hone it out a little bit.
Yeah, those look much better. So once our other prints are done, we can print this again. And let's copy this guy, and we'll paste it into the left foot design as well. So let's go to our left foot. And like I said before, it's a reciprocal of this, so we just need to mirror it on the other side. Delete that. Paste our new one. Mirror it. That's it. And that design is done too. Ready to rock. Alright, so I guess it's time to make a new design. I think we'll start with the waist. We know we have to be a little bit bigger than the waist.
We're going to guess, but these are the screws that we use for the
So we'll copy that.
hoping that we're going to screw in here.
Do a new design.
So let's find out.
Actually, the waist will give us a good idea on what our scale will need to be like for the torso that we can grab from our original document. Oops. So there we go. Call this Astro Torso. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our original Astro Boy.
I seen that it was the same thread, and I looked at it, and I was right. I was absolutely right. So I got another one of those same two screws.
Grab his torso and his waist. Copy those. Go go back to his torso design. So this will give us the scale of the torso. Just go paste. So there we go. So we're going to scale both of these up until the waist kind of matches this waist. How did I do this before? Yeah, just press shift and start scaling.
And all I have to do now is, let me grab a zip line.
So we changed a few things. So, oh, actually this is turn 90 degrees, so let's turn that 90 degrees. And let's shift and bring that down to match the height.
Here's our HDMI cable for the joystick. The USB cable, joystick. And we'll plug it into here.
Just a little more.
I just want to shorten this cable up because it doesn't need to be as long. So you know what's really neat about having Raspberry Pi and
Oops.
Linux when we boot this thing up?
Oh, these two elements, that's why they're not centered. So we're just going to make it's a little bigger because our torso has to be. Actually, I'll adjust that a little bit. Okay, let's see how high the torso is. 111. It's going to have to be higher than that because it needs to be at least 13. So let's scale it up a little more. Oh, that's way too much. Okay, let's try that. 115. Yeah, that's pretty decent. What's the width? 101. Yeah, I think we're going to go just a tiny bit bigger.
So we have two working joysticks now.
Let's try that. 103. 118. Yeah. Good.
Which is going to be this.
We're just going to line these up.
Couple options we have here. We'll have to get code and show you what pins we need.
So the torso shape is definitely going to change. I don't want it to be just straight up and down. I want some curve to it, or some, I guess, gradual taper to it. So we're still gonna have to keep it as wide as we can. So we'll probably go a little bit wider at the top. So we will have to find a shape that can do that. It would be nice to have some curvature of the spine as well. Even though he's a robot, so he is emulating a human, so we'll definitely want to make it look as human as possible.
I was thinking of a few ways. One, you can put this on a switchboard, and you can have a header row. You can plug this in.
So yeah, I can't mess with this shape. I wish I could with kind of indenting it and stuff. But there are other shape generators that I might be able to use to make it look a little more human-like, let's say. But that's going to be our rough design. We're going to work from that. So we can remove. We might actually just make it a little bigger. You know what? No, I won't worry about it because we're going to start from this kind of shape and then go out from there. So won't worry about it too much. Let's remove the waist section though. Now that we have our scale.
Like this, you can push one end into here.
Just go to 0.
And the other end has a female on it. You can plug that.
And like I said before, we haven't figured out a way to attach the upper torso section to the waist section, so I'm just gonna leave that for now. We might end up using, I might, our Astro actually has a cutout in his chest, if you see that, and that opens up to reveal his reactor. I'm pretty sure he was called the Atomic Boy or Atom Boy before in Japan because he had a nuclear reactor built inside. That's kind of like what powered him. So we might do a kind of hollow this section out and do a door here. Or we might like split this whole thing in half so that we can fit in the Atomic Pi. So let's actually see, 74 is the width. And I'll just use my ruler over here and have a quick look at the Atomic Pi and see what the width is on it. Oh yeah, excuse me. I forgot that this connector here is on the bottom of the board, which is frustrating. So I'll likely remove that connector and gets power attached to the top here. And I'll need a really heavy duty voltage regulator that hooks up to like a battery, a LiPo battery, to make it all happen properly. Let's just do a quick measurement though. So like a little ways from the bottom to the top of the heatsink is 2 centimeters. That's pretty good. Just about as tall as some of these capacitors that are on the board here. So, and also the network adapter is just under 2 centimeters. Yeah, I don't want to remove that. That'd be a pain. But yeah, this connector is definitely gonna go. I can just cut it off. I probably won't even bother trying to reuse it or anything like that, or try to pull it right off the board. Such a weird. This board is actually designed for the Curie robot. Have you ever heard of it? It was like a social robot. I think it's created by Mayfield Robotics, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look that up, but it was, yeah, Windows. I think they actually use Linux on this board, but it is an Intel processor, so that's why Windows runs on this thing. And unfortunately, the company went bankrupt, and then another company, which called themselves Atomic Pi, purchased all these boards and sold them under this Atomic Pi name, which was quite interesting. It has nothing to do with the Raspberry Pi, but it is a single board computer, so maybe that's why they kind of thought the Pi name was fitting, because a lot of single board computers are naming themselves Pi for some, just to, I guess, piggyback off of the Raspberry Pi name. And yeah, so it has HDMI out, it's got one USB 3 port, it has UART, volume control, it's got these Wi-Fi UFL breakouts, so you put your own antennas on there. It's got Bluetooth, and yeah, its own voltage regulator section, and then you just apply 5 volts to it. So, like I was saying before, we'll need a nice solid regulator to hook up to it, and then hooked up to a LiPo battery, like a 7.4 volt LiPo, because unfortunately you can't find a battery that is close to 5 volts, which is just kind of funny, you know, come to think of it, you know. Isn't that weird that, I guess everything is like, you know, a lot of electronics are 5 volt logic, 5 volt everything, yet nobody ever came out with a 5 volt battery. It seems a little silly, but I think it's just the nature of batteries, you know. Like NiCads and nickel metal hydrides, they'll naturally maybe went to 1.2 volts. I'm not too sure how that chemistry all works, but and then lipos were always 3.7 volts per cell. So, but there was nothing that really added up to 5, you know. You can get 4 NiCads or nickel metahydrides, and that would be 4.8 volts, but not 5. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Anyway, so we'll have to regulate the LiPo battery voltage down, and we'll see how that goes. We might actually need 2 batteries because we're going to be running all the servos and the Atomic Pi off of battery power. We might separate them, common ground, but separate them. One battery will be, I think, in each foot, and then one will be for the servos, one will be for the Atomic Pi. So yeah, we'll see. I guess it'd be nice to try and fit and see if, do a test fit and see if the current design of the feet actually lines up, and if the battery like fits in there. What it can do. Oh, actually all the servos I have are modified. But we can just test with it. So give me a quick second here. Move over to the workbench here. Try to get closer to you so you can see what's going on.
Let's take a look and see if they were the designer of this guy programmer. If you made
we will have to take the backing off and replace it with a standard backing, so I'll have to go grab one of those. I have a few extras kicking around. Be right back.
Okay. So with a micro. What's this one? Keyboard in Arduino pin. Pro Micro. Interesting. I don't know why. I guess maybe if you're using like an Uno or something.
Alright, we're gonna salvage some parts here.
Yeah, that's what we're using. We're using a Pro Micro. So these are the pins that we're using. 10, 16, 15, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you guys can see it here. So I'm just looking at this.
Take those off. Pop that guy off.
So all of these ones are the ones we care about. This row here is the wires. So number 1 looks
Pop out some of these gears that didn't come with me. Come with the servo. Oh, interesting. This little cap came with it. With the pin. There we go. Put that pin back in. Seems it's magnetic.
PCB except solder.
You know what? So I think I'm just going to plug that in first and then put the gear on top of it. Fit that gear in place. Perfect. Wait. There we go. Okay, screw that back together, and then we'll be able to test fit that onto our bottom portion of the foot. I will need a couple more screws, I think. Just a couple to hold in place. And then we'll see if the battery fits on top of the servo. Forget one of the, I don't remember who it was, but somebody from our community had suggested that. The more I think about it, and I think it's probably a good one. So, servo goes like that. So I'll grab maybe just one screw to hold it in place. And I'll put this on top, and then we'll see how much space we have left over for a battery.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of cables right here. A lot of wires.
Alright.
But there are other options to cut from the side of the vehicle. I don't like that idea. That's really massacring, butchering.
Boy. Yeah, that's the problem. There's still some plastic left over from printing, some supports, so let's push those out with a little flat blade screwdriver. Oh no! Well, I think this filament that I'm using is not very strong and not bonding very well. Just broke that off so easy. Pretty sure it's old filament that I was using. So let's see how that goes. We don't really have to put the screw in. I was just thinking it would make things easier. Yeah, it's not really working all that well. Okay, so let's just dry fit it. See if this will go through the hole we made for it. Oh yeah, barely, but it does. We might have to adjust that hole a little bit because that is so tight. Actually, it's not wide enough for the bottom part of the servo connector. Darn. So let me clip that a little bit. Make that a little bit wider. So we'll have to adjust that. You know what, I'll just take a file.
Oh my god, it's not so bad. Okay. So to start, we'll start with the top.
We got these little jeweler's files that come in handy in this kind of scenario.
How many pins are there on this? 20, I guess. This would be 20 all the way down. Because remember,
Okay, let's see if that works. There we go. We forced it on through to the other side.
1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth one down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth one down.
Okay. Pull this servo forward a little bit. Get that servo in the right place. And see if we can sneak the battery in there. Something tells me no, because look, even if the battery was lined up perfectly here, it would definitely be sticking out down here quite a bit. So yeah, these feet would definitely have to grow pretty large in size in order to fit the battery in them. Unless I fit the battery in the bottom portion, like so. Which could be an option. Actually, be neat to like make a battery door that fits in the bottom of the foot, and then have the charging plug come out of there. Probably try to find a way to hide the charging plug. Maybe tuck it inside when I'm using it. But yeah, there's definitely some excess space that I'm not utilizing here, that I could definitely sink this battery into it a little more. Can make Astro be its foot a little higher than it is now.
Okay, we're done. One.
That could work instead of trying to fit it into a round portion.
Okay, and number 19.
But so there is space in there. I don't know if you can see that space in right up in there, but there isn't much. It looks like it's enough for a battery, but the battery can only be like this long in order to fit, and our battery is much longer than that. It would only have to be like half of that in order to fit. So I think a better idea would be under the feet, and then we would have to run power wires up to, you know what, I completely forgot that we're also going to need an Easy B in this guy in order to control these servos. I was thinking that maybe we could use an Arduino, but I don't. No, I mean, I have a PC, so I can use PC sound. Yeah, but the Arduino only has like what, 13 servos I can do?
I don't think you can do 13 of them.
No, 12?
I don't think that many. There's only some of the servo with the Arduino ports can be servos.
Not all of them?
No.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I think we probably have to do an Easy Robot, Easy BB4 inside to control the. I think we're gonna have 18 servos in this guy, so yeah, I think it's gonna have to be the V4. It's gonna be 14 HDD Easy Robot HDD servos, which I got a bunch of today. Thank you, Easy Robot. Use my Easy Robot credits to get some servos. And then we're gonna have 4 micro servos, 2 for each hand, 1 for each hand, and then 2 for the neck and head.
Is cold.
So I guess we can go back to the torso design now, and maybe change the foot design, the bottom foot design, to fit a battery.
0 degrees Celsius.
So we'll need a cavity to put the battery in. We will need you know what, I don't know if I like the idea of putting power up into a section where it could potentially be pinched. That's the only fear I have. And we do have a lot of space in the torso. Yeah. I might try to keep all the power in the torso. So I think we'll kind of forget about that idea for now. Just because, yeah, I just don't want these exposed power wires going everywhere. It's nice to keep everything in one central place. We'll likely have, like I said, 2 batteries up in the cavity.
Good Black Friday like you guys have in the States.
You know what I should do? I should really test the current of how much current the Atomic Pi draws. I know it draws quite a bit on boot up, but I don't remember exactly how much it draws just regularly doing its thing. I believe it's under 2 amps, but I don't remember exactly what it is. So it's a test we probably could do. I have the ability to do it. I have all the equipment, so why not? So let's power this guy down for the time being.
It's kind of funny. You know, like
It's definitely under 2 amps because I forgot that this supply only gives 2 amps.
about what pins go where.
Yep, 2 amps exactly. Yeah, we didn't really make any good changes to our program, so just close that down. Okay, so I'll go get the equipment to test the amperage of that, and I'll be right back.
Do you have snow where you are, PGP? I don't even know where you live. But I assume someplace in the States.
Can I steal the voltmeter?
Yeah, it's all yours. Hopefully we should not need a voltmeter again.
Okay, so we have these alligator clips that'll attach to our voltmeter leads.
I trade you for a couple days. I come stay at your place, you can stay at my place, shovel my
And then we have this guy that splits up the power line so we can do a current measurement. Move some of this stuff so we can bring the Atomic Pi into view here. It was on for about, 2 or 3, probably 2 hours, and it's barely warm to the touch. So I think the hack of the heatsink worked out well. So we'll have to move this.
I don't even know where New Jersey is.
Jersey.
That's in like New York, right?
Close.
It's not in the state of New York? New Jersey, New York? New Jersey, Washington?
I don't know actually.
I don't know anything about
I thought,
the state.
is New Jersey the state? The state of New Jersey? Or is it a city?
New Jersey is a state? I don't know.
I don't know either. Because NY, right?
Yeah, is New Jersey a state or is it a city? Jamie wants to know. I'm pretty sure it's a city, right?
Thought it was a state. State of New Jersey.
State of New Jersey? Maybe they said the state of New Jersey, but it was the state to it.
Okay, here we go.
New Jersey State, 30 minutes from New York. Oh.
Okay, so we have half an amp
In New Jersey.
on boot up to 0.8 amps, 800 milliamps.
Springfield, like the most number of, like, there's more cities in the state than Springfield. than
We're
any
at-
city or something, isn't that?
Sorry if you can't see that. Well, the glare is kind of bad. Oh, we're already up to about an amp.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to clean this.
So we're on the 10 amp setting of my multimeter here.
Here, it comes out with more solder on it.
Yeah, sorry if you can't see this. I'll bring the camera down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so yeah, the Atomic Pi is drawing 1 amp constantly on boot, and then we'll see what happens.
We only have 10 cities in Canada, so
It's pretty close to true, yeah.
you can count, right? Which is kind of funny. We have so much land, but we have like, I don't know, like actual cities, not towns, right? So you got like,
Well, Airdrie is a city. Sure,
Airdrie's
part.
a city?
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
Where
is.
Jeremy lives, he's saying it's a city. It's like they have like one grocery store.
We have like 3. Thank you very much.
You have 3 grocery stores?
Yeah.
That's as many grocery stores as I have back home.
We have Superstore. We have Sobeys, Safeway. Walmart.
You have a Walmart?
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy has a Walmart. He's a big talker now. Now the king and the hat on.
Nice. All right, it's dropped down to 0.6 amps, so 600 milliamps. Sure, taking its sweet time to boot up.
Walmart in years. I think Amazon is becoming a Walmart.
The one-stop shop, yeah.
Yeah, for things like paper towel and what have you, but now you just order it all from Amazon for cheaper.
Yeah, this is definitely taking a while. I don't think it normally takes this long to boot.
In Canada, there are 3 streets called this street, that street, and the other street. It's close. We have one street that runs from the west side of Canada to the east side of Canada, or however you want to look at it. And it's called the number 1. That's our one highway. The one highway runs across the whole country.
There's
when you
only
get
one.
to water, because we have islands, when you get to the water, the boat is considered the highway. So if you look at a map, it'll show like a dot.
Yeah, and in Canada we also know that guy named Steve. Everyone knows Steve.
Everyone knows Steve in Canada. Okay, so we just finished doing this whole one side. Okay. Now we just have to do the other side.
I don't know if it's doing an update or something, but sure, taking its sweet time.
It's not messy. It's pretty
Usually never takes this long.
Now I just gotta flip it over.
I guess we'll just have to leave it and see what happens. In the meantime, we can switch over to do some more 3D CAD design, adjusting
okay, so
the
what pin are we on now? I don't even know.
Astro torso,
Last one? Number 9 is
seeing if we can
number 9 is last one.
maybe add some more shape to it.
Now we're starting on here.
So let's do that. Let's switch over to the other screen and start doing some more 3D design. We'll come back to the slow computer in a little bit here. Okay, so let's transition to the screen here. Alright. Okay, so let's maybe look at our custom shapes and see what we have. Shape generators, all. Oh man, it's more work than it's worth. Yeah. Just lining up everything to do double-sided PCB, CNCing, making a mess and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if PCB etcher would be ideal.
I think I'm struggling with one of the joints here with the solder. It's like underneath all these wires.
Yeah, nothing yet. That's looking like what we need. Maybe we can do like a upside down parabolic cone.
a good idea, especially since you saw like that first Arduino I went to use. It didn't work, right? So that's garbage. What are you supposed to do when that happens? If you soldered this,
We already used the rounded triangle. The trapezoid. Maybe if it had rounded corners, it would be nice.
So using the socket allows us to be able to swap out.
Just wish you could make like one of these and adjust, not make it a rectangle, but adjust the slope of it.
Excuse me. I'll show you what I just had to do. See, these wires were over top of this pin, and I had to solder it across. So I wanted to make sure.
Nothing ideal yet, just to help us out.
So
We can maybe use those parabolas.
which is right there, and it's right there. Yes.
Pineapple. Oh, that's funny.
Okay. Now we want to just run.
Oh,
It's funny how we just run directly
never heard of this
across.
Bezier bean before.
Crazy. Everyone's directly across now.
Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's undo that.
This makes it really easy. You just have to cut short wires.
Ugh, I just want to move this thing.
Really short wires.
Okay, so can't really tell what it's doing at such a small scale. So we will make this a lot bigger. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I don't know what this does. Oh, whatever that is. That is so weird. Oh, okay, that affects that. Whoa! Whoa.
Here's one across.
Oh, that was weird.
Each one of these just run directly across now.
The pitch
I
of
don't know how
this.
many. Either 10, 16.
Interesting. Can make it a double weird shape.
TV talking about Black Friday. A woman waited a couple hours, pulled her out, asked what she bought. She said a nice pajamas. What the heck? Must be a very good one. Yeah, to buy pajamas on a Black Friday. That's true. You know, I think
Arc softness.
a bunch of us in the office went out for lunch, and we decided
weird.
Alan wanted to buy a barbecue, and I wanted to get a raspberry Pi, even though they weren't on sale. I thought I had to get one. We had to stand in line to get one. They weren't on sale.
Undo.
And, everybody wanted to pick something up, but it was funny because it felt like everyone wanted to pick something up just for the sake of getting something because it was Black Friday. It's like, well, everyone else is getting something, I should get something too. So Jeremy picked up some hard drives, and I ended up buying a hard drive I don't need, so now I have a terabyte SSD hard drive on my desk.
You bought it too?
I bought it, I don't know why I bought it for. I wanted to get a terabyte SSD external. So I have now that, so that's cool, I guess. Just, I don't know. It's like a club, once you get into the Black Friday club, people are like, did you get the Black Friday? And you did it, people are like, what? Black Friday? Supposed to get something, Black Friday.
Oh yeah, look, the resolution
Like,
goes
I
way
got
down.
something, I woke up in the morning and there was like a gift under my tree.
Underside roundness.
I paid for it.
Oh, weird.
Sure wasn't pajamas. Maybe I should have got some pajamas.
Make it as round as possible, I guess.
Oh,
This looks like the bean in Chicago, that's for sure.
my connection keeps telling me that it was going slow.
Yeah, it happened to me a few times. Share my screen, yeah. So this is definitely a good shape to like mess around with. But there is so many parameters. Holy.
Like how many It's a ritual, a cult. If you don't want anything, you need
Holy.
yeah. It's exactly what happened to me, man. It was just like, everyone just kept getting stuff, and I felt like I had to get stuff too.
You're the one who wanted to go.
All I wanted was one thing. But then you started the hard drive thing, and I wanted to get a barbecue, and I started thinking, oh, maybe I need a barbecue. 16,
That's funny.
14,
Oh man.
15.
You can definitely do some really weird like saddle shapes with this thing.
20.
Holy.
Okay, so we're going to go all the way to 21.
So this is definitely a versatile custom shape.
Pin 4, then we do pin 3 and pin 1. So,
Whoa. You could do some weird stuff.
wait,
Let's drop this down.
pin 14 goes to pin 8. And so is pin 1. What? Oh, well. We must assume they know best.
Whoa. That started out as a bean, folks. Now it looks like some legs and like a stomach, or it looks kind of like a flower. Look at it this way. Petals. It's so weird.
I soldered 7,000 wires to make a video game from 19 computer system 1984. Work with a Raspberry Pi. Starting at the bottom.
Okay, let's revisit the Atomic Pi here.
Like Commodore 64 games.
It's been spinning for way too long, so I'm gonna reboot it. I believe this button reboots
No,
it.
I'm gonna really enjoy it though. It's gonna be cool. 'Cause you know
So
how
1.1
light
amps.
flashing before your eyes? It's gonna be a light flashing before my eyes of me soldering wires.
Down to 0.4. Up to
I would
0.8.
have done what I originally suggested, which was just like run plugs from one.
Yeah, it's all over the place when it's booting up.
Connector to the Arduino. Then
Seems like it reset
what
itself.
I've done by now, we would be loading Metro Pi and seeing if it worked on Raspberry Pi 4. Because that's what we have to do next.
Okay,
Once we
well,
get this
hopefully it boots up all the way.
we'll be loading Metro Pi.
Oh, there we go. It's loading Windows now. 1.6 amps to jump to. And then
Okay,
proceeded to
otherwise we're gonna be debugging this thing. It's gonna be ugly.
hopefully not reboot. Oh, it did reboot. And I'm wondering if having this probe in the middle of everything messes with it.
How many pins did I say this is going to go to the top? I don't want to keep going forever. 1, 2, 3, 4. There'll be 4 at the top that we don't populate. So right now we have
Let's see what's going on here.
1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 more to do, and then we're done. When I mean done, I'm done until you start again.
Oh, there we go.
So,
Says recovery didn't boot properly. So let's go restart my PC. See if that helps. Yeah, I'm not certain it'll be able to boot with this guy connected in series.
Jeremy is playing with the Atomic Pi on his live hack.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of fun playing with that when I put the Atomic Pi inside of my Apple II.
Alright, looks like it's going to boot Windows. We're at 1.2 amps steady, 1.3 amps basically.
Pi was really neat.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it. So if it constantly drew 1.3 amps, then our battery would last for about an hour because it's 1300 milliamp hour. So it's basically the same. Seems like it's trying to boot Windows, but just struggling. Yeah, I think I might have to take this ammeter out of here. Really doesn't like it. But for all intents and purposes, that's a 1.3 amps draw, let's say, constantly. Likely maybe under that, but okay, we'll take our ammeter out of this and plug power directly in. See how that goes.
Did you end up buying a Atomic Pi PGP? I tell you, I really like mine. I mean, I'm using it, like I said, it boots into Windows 10 for my Apple II emulator. And
looks like it's booting Windows, no problem now.
it's really quick.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just really didn't like the ammeter being in line with it.
You have to install the drivers from the Wikipedia page. So hopefully that Wikipedia page will disappear one day.
And we are in.
I like the fact that it runs Windows, because Raspberry Pi, I mean, what really can you do with it? Oh god, it's going to start so many conversations with somebody, Raspberry Pi enthusiast right here. What are you doing right now then, DJ? Well, same thing I can do in Windows. Come on. Okay, so it is, well, the heatsink's too big. Take the heatsink off the board and just put a, which emulator I'm using? It's called Apple Win, and it's open source too. Really cool. Works really well.
So I don't know if this shortcut works from, I think I might have to refresh that, because last time I just like had to go type Easy Builder in,
Almost done. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pins in the top.
activate it that way.
This is what we want, we expect.
I don't know what's up with this
This
guy here.
is the last one we did.
Or maybe it's still just loading everything and it's just being slow.
There we go. So which one? The last one we just did should be in there. Let's put this on and verify. It is.
Yeah, we'll just let it do its thing.
Okay, cool. So,
Alright,
what we have to do now is
let's go back to here. So we do have this Bezier bean that seems like it could be a helpful tool. I definitely have to spend a little bit of time with it to kind of figure out the ins and outs of it, because it is definitely a weird shape that it can do. Yeah, what I'm looking for is something to make this sort of shape, but maybe sharper at the top, that kind of thing. Be able to change some of the parameters. The bean might be able to, or else I just might have to use multiple shapes. So we want to have like a wider top torso, kind of a skinnier ab section, but this is as skinny as it can get. At I think it's 103. Our board width is 110 centimeters or 100 millimeters, and yeah, it's gonna have to fit to here, and then our height is 118. Our board height is 130. Oh yeah, so I guess we will have to go higher with this as well. I forgot about that. Excuse me. So, yeah.
Are you checking out Apple Win right now? If you do,
I think I'm cooling down. I don't think I have enough energy to keep on 3D modeling at this point.
A couple places, I think at EMU Paradise, I think they have like a...
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it quits on the 3D modeling. You know what? It's funny. I can work on hardware all night long, but the 3D modeling, I get to a point where I'm like, ugh, I just don't want to do it anymore. It's probably because I'm using this simple program that doesn't allow me to do custom things really, besides these custom shapes and stuff. Just wish you can kind of tweak elements, draw lines. Be so handy. But that's not the way this program works. I'll eventually have to learn SolidWorks because that's what we have here at Cynthium. It'd be quite handy to use that, and it's pretty professional. It has all the tools you need, but it's just quite a large jump from something simple like this. It takes a lot of time to learn. DJ's taught me a little bit about SolidWorks so far, so I might have to continue on that journey. But yeah, I think I will save this for the next time. And we'll do the torso, start on the arms, and possibly do the head as well. So the head will be a bit of a challenge as well, because it's definitely not a completely circular shape. You can see that if I show you him, you can see that his mouth and nose section is kind of like a bit more bulbous there. And then we have ears as well to attach. And we have his spiky hair, which will be a little bit tricky. I don't think it'll be too bad actually, because it's basically a, what do you call that? A cone shape. So we do have cone tools in Tinkercad, so it shouldn't be too bad to do that. The shape of his hair I won't worry about until we do like a silicone mold. And I'll probably do it all skin color, and then either use like a black marker or some paint to paint his hair on. And his eyebrows as well. And then his eyes, I'm going to try to make them 2 little OLED screens, maybe RGB LED. And so they can be like fully animated and look really cool. Be able to look around and stuff. Not too sure if I'll hook that up with like little microphones for sound sensing, make them look where the sound is, or just be random. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This project could definitely go, get out of hand, I guess, in some regards. I could go with tons of new features and stuff, but we'll likely just try to focus on the simple stuff at first, and then see where we're at the end, and see if we want to keep on going. This will definitely be a number of live hacks long. I'm not too sure how long at this point, but it's looking like more than 6. Probably going to take a break between now and then and do some other different live hacks to kind of break up this long one. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm going to sign off, because I'm wimping out. Like I said, I can do all kinds of hardware all night long, but when it comes to 3D design, I get to a point where I'm just done. It takes all my creative juices, I think, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe I should just let you solder all these wires.
Maybe I'll help DJ on his stream. Looks like he needs a hand. Alright. Well, everyone have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good night.